Hello, this is Lucas and welcome to another JavaScript tutorial where we will be going over strings. So in a few videos ago we kind of went over strings, but we didn't go a bit too much in depth into it. We just went over the basics. So in this video I'll just show you a few other things that we can do with strings. So let's get started. So let's say we have a string. So we'll just do let string 1. So firstly we can create a string by using the single quotes. So I'll just do text. Alright, that's one way that we can do it. Another way that we can do it is we can use double quotes. Okay, that works the exact same way. And finally, we can also use, I think it's called the backtick. This one here, if you come up, this one. It's called a backtick. We can also use this one as well. The one I usually use is just the double quotes, because it's just like a standard in programming languages, so that's just the one I usually use, but you can use any of them as you want. Now, why would you ever use these backticks? Well, there is one reason why. It just allows us to have multiple lines. So for example, let's say we have text, or let's just say we have people. Okay, we have people, then we want to create a list of people on a new line. So the way we'll do that is, we'll just go onto new line, and then we'll just do the star, and then we can just give a name, and then we can go again star. We can give another name like, I don't know, Bob star, and then we'll go with Peter, and this will just create a string with multiple lines. So there's going to be 4 lines in total, and then we can clearly see this when we do console.log. String 3 we have. Let's see how this looks like. Refresh this and you can see that we have multiple lines. Now if we used double quotes here, for example, we will not be able to do this. Okay, so if you go back, refresh this, you can see we get an error. So we can't actually use this, but there is actually a way that we can use double quotes to create multiple lines. So let's just remove all this. And the way we'll do this is, well, first I'll just name the string. So then we can just equal this to a string with double quotes. And we can just do the exact same thing. We can do something like people. And then let's say we want to have these all on a new line. Well, then we'll just do the /n. This will just create a new line. And we can just do something like Lucas. Then we can do that again, n. And we can do Bob. Okay, let's see how this looks like. We can refresh this and you can see now we can place them on new lines like this just by doing this. It's called a special character. Now there are a few of these. So for example, this is spelled wrong, but let's say that we want to have a double quote within our string. Now we can't actually just do this, because this doesn't really mean anything. Like if we go back to our page, refresh this, you can see that we get an error. So we can't actually have this. So if I want to say hello, now this just caused an error. So we do need to use something for this, and we can just use the / again, / and we need one more here. And now if you can go back, refresh this, you can see now we have the double quotes here. And it's simply just by doing a / and then the character that we want. So we can also have a single one here as well, like that. See? Now there are a few more special characters that we can do. So for example, we can do something like T, which is just the same as a tab, And then there's also a B for backspace, and then there's a few more. I'm not going to go over all of them, but there are a few more. Another one. This is /, okay, so this will just have one /, as you can see. So by having 2 backslashes, that means we just need to add a /, okay. Now we can actually also get the length of our string. So for example, let's say we just have hello, and then at the end of that we can do a dot, and we can do length, and this will just get the length of our string. So we can go back to our page, refresh this, and you can see 5 because there are 5 characters. Okay, So now this is actually not a string, it's actually an integer. Okay, because we are getting the length of this string. Alright, now we can also do, we can have these on separate ones. So we can do like, we can have this as a string. So the data type of this is a string. But then we can just print out the length here, which is just the exact same thing. We can just do that. That's just the same thing. We can also select what character we want. So for example, we have this string here called hello. Let's say that we want to get the very first character of the string. So all we have to do is we just have to do string. And then in here, we just have to write 0. Because we want to get the very first index, so it's 0. Now we can go back, refresh this, you can see we get H, because that's a 0, because H is the very first character. Okay, we can do, obviously we can do like 5. This will get the very last one. Undefined, no it won't. 4 is the very last one. O, okay, because O is the very last one. Now if you want to, actually, well, there is another way that we can do this. We can do it this way, or we can do dot at, or char at. We actually don't need that, we just need dot at, and in brackets we'll just do I don't know, we'll do 0 as well. This will just do the exact same thing. Refresh H. Now let's say if you want to get the very last character, then let's just remove this. All we have to do is we have to do string. I'll move this string dot length. So we again the length of the string, and we want to get the very last one. So we just do -1 of the entire length, which is going to be O again. O. We can also do a bit easier way of doing this as well. Is we can just do a dot at like this. Now in here, the very last one is -1. Okay. So whenever we use like 1, we'll always start from the left side, so from the start. So this would be 0, so then 1, so this will return E. But if we do minus, well, then we will start from the very end, except -0 makes no sense. This isn't going to get O. We need to use -1 to get the very last one. Okay, so the difference is when we do 1, it will get the second character from the start. But whenever we do -1, it will get the very first character from the end. Okay, it's a bit confusing, but yeah, that's just the way that works. We can also replace a character as well. So let's say we have this string called hello. Then all I want to do is, let's say we do I don't know, replaced. You can equal this to string dot at, and then we can do, let's see, we do 0. So this is like the very first one. Probably not the best way of doing this actually. Or actually, it actually is. So the way we'll do this is we'll just do let's say we'll keep this as 1. Now this isn't the best way of doing it, but the way we can do it is we can just set a character. So let's say we do something like a small h, and then we do plus. This isn't the best way of doing it, but you can actually see what's going to happen. Let's just do replace here. Now we can refresh this. You can see we get HE. So if we want to replace something, we'll just have to keep adding these. So like, for example, we need 2, 3, 4 just to get the other 3 at the very end. But yeah, that's one way that we can actually replace a string. There are other ways. Let's see, there's a few other cool things that we can do. So for example, we can do something like I don't know, .2 lowercase. This will just return, or this will just put all these letters as lowercase. Also do you can do uppercase. So for example, let's do two upper case. Case. This will just put all of them into uppercase. Go back, refresh that. You can see all the letters now are uppercase. You can also there's another thing that we can do with substrings, which is probably the last thing that I'm going to go over. So basically, let's say we have a string called hello world, for example, okay, and we want to find a substring of this. So The way we can do that is, so we will call string, and then we'll just do dot index of, okay, and then we need to search, okay. So let's do world, okay. Now what's going to happen here? Refresh this. You can see we get 6. The reason why we get 6 is because we are searching for the index of world. Wherever world starts, we get that index. So you can see here we have world. So the way it works is this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So W, this string here starts at index 6 in the string called string. Okay. Okay, so that's basically it for this video. I'm not gonna go over everything to do with strings. There's a lot of things that we can do with strings. This video will be 2 hours long if I was to go over everything, but you can do the research yourself. In some later videos you will see me use a couple of other things, and I will explain it whenever I do use it. But that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.